Welcome to another episode of the Man Lucrative Podcast. I am the host, the one, the only Magneto 7 in the building. That's me. I got TikTok in the building, I got Facebook in the building, and we're gonna have some fun tonight. We're gonna have mad fun tonight. So hopefully your week was amazing. We're going on a new night tonight. We're not early in the week, so we're heading into the weekend. But anyway, hopefully your week was amazing. Mine was. I've had a super interesting week. So for everybody that knows, I'm actually a contractor in the daytime. I'm also a musician. I produce. I do a lot of music for a lot of people. But so in being in the entertainment business and being in that world, of course, we have a few nights that's kind of like, I'll say, the Super Bowl for musicians. The Super Bowl for musicians would be the Grammys, the Oscars, the Tonys, all of those award shows, right? I actually have a Grammy. So, shouts out for me for having a Grammy. Hold up, let me give me one of them because I need one. Shouts out for me. I have a Grammy. But anyway, so looking through the feed, because I'm sorry, I'm not one of the people that's gonna look at the Tonys, the Oscars. I'm not gonna look at it, and I'm almost not gonna look at the Grammys. Just because it's not entertaining. So I look at the Tonys and the Oscars occasionally, but this week, I'm scrolling through the feed. This is how I look at the Oscars and the Tonys. I'm scrolling through the feed on Instagram. And I'm like, oh, it's pretty cool. I see people mad at Angela Bassett not getting an award. Listen, I get it. I'm with y'all. Black Lives Matter. I'm here. But I'm going to say this. I think us coloreds. I'm starting spicy tonight. I think us coloreds, what's up, have to understand our place in the entertainment business. I think what happens is we get into a space where we feel like the corporate structure is now listening to Black lives and powerful Black women, and we even got the woman king, and it's a beautiful thing. We got Tyler Perry doing his thing, all that stuff. But don't ever get it twisted. We did not start the Grammys. We did not start the Grammys, the Oscars, or the Tonys, or any of the awards that everybody deems as this is the big award. We didn't start that. So this week was indication of us not owning or starting stuff. So we're going to fast forward that, right? After I started seeing some of the comments, I heard Rihanna do the song. I'm trying to think of positive things to say about people. And I'm not hating. I actually produced on the Eminem album when Rihanna sung Love the Way You Lie. I produced a song on that album, right? But, when someone goes on hiatus, right, we all automatically think that when the artist comes out, it's going to be like a smash, like, oh, right. It feels like it's going to be a smash. And when we heard, lift me up, hold me, I'm sorry. I wasn't sold. I even give myself a boo for that because it wasn't. I'm trying to figure out the best way to say it. All right, so I'll say it like this. I think what happens with the music business is a lot of the times we let stuff go by because of who it is, and we don't really listen to the song. We don't really focus on the impact of a song, right? What I mean by that is this. When we heard A. Marie, One Thing, I think that was the name of the song. One Thing, This Thing, it was one of those, right? When we heard that back in the day, and the drums, we're like, oh, what was that? Like that joint was smacking, right? And then after that, we heard Beyonce do the same drums, and then we heard Jay-Z do the live type drums on "Show Me What You Got." Like put it together, right? I feel like all of it derived from us hearing the one thing from A. Marie, right? So when the artist comes out of that caliber, everybody kind of follows the soundscape. Now, and that it's plenty of examples like that. When the baby came out from Carolina, when the baby came out, everybody was using the 808s because he made it hot. You heard those 808s on everybody's song, pop, hip hop, everywhere, right? So when we heard the Rihanna song, I'm like, oh yeah, they ain't gonna follow this. This ain't one of them. Like we waiting, we gonna wait. She probably gonna have a follow up after this, and now we know that she's pregnant. It ain't gonna be no follow up. Like it's just it just is what it is. But we've learned to accept it. So I say that to say this. That was a part of the performance that I saw from the Oscars, right? And then I think 2 days later, I see some pictures floating of Miss Sierra. Shouts out to see. We're gonna give her a clap for that dress. Okay. I gotta choose my words very carefully. So I saw the dress, the Sierra dress, the infamous dress, right? And the first thing that popped in my head was, oh no, I would never let my wife wear that. Not necessarily let my wife, not let. I'm gonna choose that carefully too. The reason I say that is this. I saw a lot of women attack me because I said, you think this was respectful of your husband? It wasn't. Okay, so I posted that. Keep in mind, I haven't been posting much because I've been working, like real work. It's a difference between internet work, online work, and then work in person. Like when you work on property, you got to be there. Like you can't phone it in. But anyway, so I just posted something just to be posting it. I wasn't really serious about it. Just posted something, like whatever. I saw people come from henceforth from east to south to north to west to plead the case of why Sierra got the right to wear what she want to wear. I never said she couldn't. I never said Sierra could not wear what she wanted to wear. Ladies, I know some of y'all watch the pod. I know it's majority men, but I know some of y'all watch the pod. I never said that she could not wear what she wanted to wear. My only thing was, did Russell see this dress before they left the house? I kept telling everybody, I was like, okay, she wore it. I don't think they rode to the event together. I think they met up at the event, and she was like, "Oh, this is what I got on." He was like, "Oh, word." So anyway, it was a joke. It was a joke. But some of y'all commented on certain things, certain platforms. Y'all made it serious. So I'm gonna go serious with y'all for a second. All right. So my issue was not necessarily the fact that she wore the dress. I could care less that she wore the dress. Um, I could care less what their arrangement is. They might be swingers for all we know. If that is the case, cool. Do your thing. I'm just saying, when it comes to the masses, right? And I hate to make something black and white and it's not racist and all that kind of stuff. But when you have a group of women that look to you for influence, you are their influence. And what they see is, I'm married, I'm a boss, I dance, I do all of this stuff, and I can be provocative and be married. And whoever I get with should accept that. Okay, let's put some context to this thing. Put some context to it. Yes, who you marry should accept you for all of you. I agree with that. They should accept it. But in some instances, I feel like the couple, I'll say that because it's not necessarily all women that do it. Some men do it too. But the couple gets thrown, or the partner gets thrown a monkey wrench in the equation. And I think sometimes it's like, well, I'm gonna throw this to you, and you just learn how to deal with it. I'm not saying that that's their situation, but that's how it looked. It looked a lot like, I didn't know she was gonna wear that, but since we're here, I'm gonna keep a straight face. But we're gonna talk about this when we get to the house. That's how it felt. That's how it felt. Looking at his face, looking at the body movement, all that stuff. But anyway, that brings me to a subject that I've wanted to talk about for a little bit. But the subject is, what does our community look like uh, in the next 5 to 10 years? And I say our community, I'm talking about colored folk. Colored folks. TikTok, yep, it's one of them nights. One of them nights. Because I think from the outside looking in, and I'm at like I'm a white guy, right? Since I don't have my white guy on the pod right now, I'm at like I'm the white guy. From the outside looking in, it seems like um, our community allows anything and everything within the household, and it looks chaotic. Honestly, it looks like we're just doing stuff um, just because. It doesn't seem organized. It doesn't seem like it's unity. It doesn't seem like it's a peaceful situation. It seems like it's a lot of, I'm gonna throw this at you and you deal with it. Whether that's from a finance standpoint, whether that's from a connectivity standpoint, because it's not necessarily just a marriage that I'm talking about. It's not necessarily a dating situation, but just in the community. Period. Something that is a vexing thing for me, and I may have talked about it on a few pods ago or so. But when I see us walk through a grocery store or wherever, and we make a point to not make eye contact and speak, simply speak to each other. I have a problem with that. I have a real big problem with that because whenever I'm interacting with my white counterparts, it's always cool. It's always a vibe. It's very rare that, and maybe it's me. I'm willing to accept that. Maybe it's me, but it's very rare that I've come across them, and it's a non-pleasant situation. It's always cool, and I wonder why um my sisters, more so my sisters, why do y'all go out of your way to not speak, or go out of y'all way to think, to feel like this interaction is not necessary? The reason I say that is this: I look at all of the $1 million conversations that I've had with people, and the way they think. A lot of those conversations I've had with people after knowing them for maybe a year or two came from me speaking at the grocery store or chopping it up at the gym for a hot second. Like, why do we feel like we can't be cordial? I think that's one of our downfalls that we need to really address within the next couple of years. Because guess what? If we don't address those situations, it's gonna be real. It is gonna be a super real situation. And I'm like, I'm looking at, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say some of those words because I don't want to be banned. But I look at how we just treat certain circumstances. All right, case in point. This is one that I've noticed that a lot of people, not just black, but a lot of people do this. If you are in a season of not doing well financially, you won't start doing well financially from avoiding looking at your account. That's one of them. Reason, okay, it's like this. I'm gonna break it down. If you don't choose to not look at your account because you know ain't nothing in there right now, then what's gonna push you to start putting something in the account or doing something to put something in the account, right? It's just like me with the weight last year, right? I posted my pictures. Yo, thank y'all for everybody that's been encouraging. I've been working hard. I've been working super hard, but so I noticed for a little while, and I think I talked about this with Sean, but I noticed for a little while that I would not look in the mirror because I did not like what I saw when I looked in the mirror. And when you do that over and over and over and over for, I'm going to say, a good year, what's going to happen? You're going to get used to not looking in the mirror. You're going to get used to avoiding what you're seeing because you didn't like it. Same thing with finances. You're going to get used to avoiding it and then you're just going to stay in the same space. Now, what I did to start changing my weight, I started looking in the mirror. I tried to put the pants on. Y'all know the pants is like just mad tight. I attempted to start putting those pants back on and they just wouldn't fit. And I was like, God, I got to do something about this. Start going to the gym, start cutting weight, start doing things, start structuring my life around cutting weight, doing better, focusing on the goal, focusing on being disciplined, right? I feel like we have to get in that space as a people. Get into the space where speaking to people, and I know some people are gonna be like, oh, this is remedial, but everybody is not outgoing. Everybody's okay with, a lot of people are okay with just being in the elevator and letting the elevator be quiet. I get it. If y'all are cool with that, cool. I'm not though. What if we're in the elevator? What if we're in the elevator? Ain't nobody talking to nobody. Elevator just stops and we're there for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I bet you're gonna start talking in. You're gonna start talking like, what are we gonna do to get out this elevator? That's just a pet peeve of mine. It's a pet peeve. Um, Something else is us us men focusing on building up other fellas. I know we got a lot of groups in Georgia, um, that's actually putting initiative together to start communities. Some of them are paid, some of them are not. But I got a few groups that I'm trying to, well, not trying, I am actually um, putting together just to encourage each other. I have not posted, and I just need to start doing that. But I have not posted on my official dad bod group. I will be posting on it. Just haven't had time. But it's stuff like that that I feel like if we are going to be on the phone 24/7, it's going to be virtual this, virtual that. Let's use it to our advantage and try to build some concrete relationships um, while we're there. Cause it's not looking good for us in the next couple of years. Speaking of, all right, so I got I had a few topics. My wife actually told me, yeah, you should talk about that on the pod. So I'm gonna talk about it. So everybody that's been following me in my story on Instagram, on Facebook, whatever, uh, I've been pretty much working on my house for like the longest. Like it's when you're a contractor, nothing is ever finished. You're always gonna be working on something. You're gonna remodel a kitchen 3 to 4 times. It never stops. So for me, I started working on the shed. It's like a tiny house shed. Everybody was like, make it a she shed. It's just gonna be a tool shed. That's what it's gonna be. But anyway, I started building the shed probably about 2 weeks ago, something like that. Start building it, and while in the process, I started doing the whole just kind of planning out the rest of the yard because I'm like, yo, since I'm gonna have this nice shed slash tiny house out here, like I need to do something fly. So I started building this shed, started building like this little small tiny house in the backyard, and while I'm doing that, I start hitting Pinterest like she does. I'm looking at Pinterest. I'm like, oh, that'd be dope. So I'm going back and forth. Everybody knows my Home Depot trips be crazy. Yes, blue collar. But my Home Depot trips be crazy. So I went to Home Depot earlier. Uh and where I've been in between working on this project over here. This is a property. Then I'm working over here on this project. Then I'm trying to be dad. Then I'm working on music right here, and it just don't stop. It just keeps going. It keeps going. I'm coaching people. Like it just keeps going. So I had some time to stop by Home Depot because I was like, I need to get the roof finished on this shed so I can start building, so I can start putting stuff from our storage unit, which we pay for our storage unit for our interior design business, which it does good. But anyway, I don't want to pay for storage. I want it on my property. I got plenty of land. I could do it. So I go to Home Depot. I say, I just need to put like a tarp or something over my roof. And, I'm going to get up there and start putting the shingles on there this weekend and all that kind of stuff. So I'm talking to an older black guy. It's cool. And he's like, well, what you need the tarp for? I said, well, I need the tarp so I can cover up my building. If I cover up my building, then I can put my stuff in there and hold it in there for the time being until I get it finished. Then I don't have to pay another month of rental fee. He's like, a tarp. He said, so what you're about to put in the building is going to be there, period. I said, right. He said, okay. And you want to get a tarp? Why? I said, so if it rained this week, I don't want my stuff to get wet. Put the tarp over the building and we'll be cool. He's like, young blood, no. He said, if you building a building, this is a bar too, catch it. But he said, young blood, if you building a building and you got to take your time to build the building, don't skip steps. He said, get that felt paper right there. I said, okay. Keep in mind, I'm a contractor, but I don't do roofs. I got a team of people that does the roofs. So I'm like, I'm not gonna pay nobody to do the shed. It's a shed. It's a shed. It's gonna look nice though. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show everybody. But anyway, so it's like a modern shed with the glass in the front, like steel doors. This fly. But anyway, so he said, yeah, you don't want to skip out and you spend money on a big tarp where you could just buy your felt for around the same money and just start getting the building finished. I said, okay. So he pointed me out to the tarp. The tarp is like 30 something. Then you got to have the little screws that you use to put it on there. He said, now, being that it's a shed, if I were you, I would just wrap the rest of that building in that tarp and then put the siding on it, paint it. Now you got a nice finished building. I said, this man done gave me a bar. I think his name is Mr. Andrew. Mr. Andrew. Thank you. He might be watching the pod. I don't know. So I did that. I bought the felt paper. And I was just in my truck, like going back to my truck, like, yo, had I not opened my mouth and talked to the man about my issue, or not necessarily issue, but yeah, I'll say my issue. My issue that I had to resolve for this week so I can just start getting my stuff out for the interior design business. If I didn't want to talk to him and I wanted to just be to myself and be antisocial, then I never would have put two and two together. I spent less money, for one, and I'm starting to get the building finished. Two concrete issues resolved just from opening my mouth. And I'd be wondering, like, okay, how many times have I gone through life? And I'm not saying y'all, I'm saying me. How many times have I gone through life and not just talked about a issue, and a person being in my space having the answer to the issue that I need resolved? A lot of, and this goes in so many different ways, and this is the reason why I guess this is gonna be the relationship pod. This is community pod. We're gonna call this the community pod. Community matters, whatever. But yeah, how many times have issues come up in our community, and we choose to not talk about certain things because you might want to be the big man in the room, right? You might want to be the answer to all. I know somebody said, if you're the smartest one in the room, you're in the wrong room. Leave. I believe that. Like, you got to have certain people that have sound counsel that can give you concrete advice that can take you from here to there to there to there to there. Another way, another something else that comes to mind when it comes to when I think about these conversations is the old guy. Shouts out to Beach. I might just clip this one part up because Beach is like he thinks it's so fascinating that I pod and build properties and like actually do good at both. But anyway, I remember talking to Beach and he was telling me about corporate structure. And keep in mind, these are all blue collar people, blue collar workers that either have a pension plan, a 401k, not millionaires. Before everybody started getting online and you get your mutual funds and this, before people were doing that, I had Beach. Old country white guy, right? He'll pull me to the side and he say, Crawford, you know what? He said, why would you have a business and not be able to save almost 100% of what you make if you got a job right here and you doing this? And it never clicked. It didn't click until I started my first LLC. This was probably back in 2015, 2016, something like that. Started an LLC and he was telling me or teaching me, okay, well, this is this tax law. This is this. This is how you do this. And you know, if you own a property, this is before all of the people that started jumping online, start talking about this stuff. He was telling me about this before then, right? So yeah, he was like, yeah, if you own a property and you do this and you do that, then you get this tax break. And this tax break is this, and this does this does this does this. And then at the end of the day, before he retired, he was like, well, yeah, I got probably $1 million over here. Got about 800,000 over here and about this over here. And you never would know it. You would never know that it was a bag. This man that he looks like a regular mechanic. Greasy hands and all that stuff. But bags. House paid for. House been paid for. I think 2 houses. One at the beach. One in Georgia and somewhere else. Like you never would know these things if you don't open your mouth and communicate with people. And speaking of communicate, the Silicon Valley Bank. Oh Lord, I want to give them a boo, but I'm gonna give them a clap because they winning right now. So if y'all did not pay attention, the Silicon Valley Bank, y'all saw that everybody was pretty much trying to pull their money out. So it's like, yeah, bank closed. But now they're getting bailed out. We knew this was coming. Right? They opened their mouth and said, we need help. I cracked myself up. But so I'm curious to see how many different tech companies actually had their money in the bank. Because if we, as regular people, had any type of bread in the space like that, you're not getting it back. But our precious government said they're going to bail them out. So this is why I bring this up. I bring this up because 2021, 2020, everybody saw that the housing market was like pop, 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 right? We saw that the interest rates were great. Hell, I took advantage of it too. You know what I mean? Like, you want to get a property? Cool, let's get it. Interest rate's low, let's get it. All right, so a lot of us took advantage of the low interest rate when it came to buying property in that world, right? But now, I think all of the people that have a bag are about to come up again. I'm gonna tell you why. I think we were looking for some upgrades for the studio, for Studio B, this Studio A. We were looking for some upgrades, and everything was like hella expensive at the time. When I'm talking about expensive, I'm talking about like the Sony Reds, the Black Magic cameras, all that stuff is expensive. And I'm talking about like stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks. But shouts out to the economy. And the price of eggs and interest rates and all that stuff. People got to sell stuff. It's time for people to start selling stuff. So when you see all of these things start to happen. You know that not a recession is coming. We are in the recession right now. I think by the time the government acknowledges that the recession, we're in a recession, we're on the upside of it, or the downside of it, because we're on the upside down. So anyway, we're coming out of it, in other words. But I don't think a lot of people are really looking for the advantage of the recession. Um, if we look at, just put two and two together, put two and two together. If you see the tech companies are having issues in this economy because people are just trying to keep money right now. They're trying to keep money. I don't even know how much. Let me see. Let's see how much some of these tech company stocks are right now. So let's look at Elon. See what he's doing. Tesla stock right now is going for $184, right? That's what the price is right now. And I'm trying to look at what it was before. Uh, so it's 200. It was 180. All right. So let's just put some numbers on it. Let's put some numbers on it. Say that Tesla stock is 184. $184.13. That's exactly how much it is right now, right? In a down economy. So let's say you start just buying up everybody's stock. You buy a little bit of Tesla, you buy a little bit of whoever, tech wise, because everybody the light is on all tech companies because the bank just did what it did. So everybody's just looking like, I ain't putting no money over there. The regular people are thinking like that. Regular people think like that. The $1 million people, they buying it up. Buying it. Anything that they can buy right now, they're gonna buy it. Because when that joint starts to come up, this $184 stock is gonna shoot up. Let me see. I'm gonna tell y'all what it was. I feel like it was $300 or something like that at one point. So let's just say what you bought for 184 right now turns into 300 on the return. Bags will be made. Bags. So I will advise everybody, and I'm not an investor. I'm not a what you call it? I'm not an accredited investor. I'm not telling y'all. I'm not teaching y'all nothing about buying nothing. But I'm just saying what I might do. Um, I think it might be a cool situation. I'll just say it like that. A cool situation to start buying certain tech company stock while we're in a down economy. Because I think once we start coming up, interest rates drop again, those stocks will raise again, and then we're gonna be up. You're gonna be up. So, um, I think I wanted to pull. I wanted to pull a few of those. All right, so my checkups for this week, and I'm gonna start doing these checkups on everybody. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all y'all. I'm gonna start doing checkups because I'm noticing uh people start losing direction when they're not held accountable for doing something. Um, what I mean by that is this. So if you are a person that always has to be motivated, somebody has always, come on, you can do it, you can do it. You gotta get out of that. That's depending on somebody to push you to where you need to be. Now, I do believe in certain seasons you have to have people to help encourage you and support you and all that stuff, and it matters. And oh my God, thank you so much. It does matter, but in some seasons you got to do this joint by yourself. Like, and the season might be for like years, and you got to be okay with that, right? I know it's been certain times where I've really wanted certain friendships while I'm going through the journey of podding and being a contractor, even being a dad and being a husband. Like, you got certain seasons where you want that support group around you, but a lot of the times it's just not going to come. And we have to be okay with it not coming and pulling from other resources to encourage ourselves. Right? It's a gospel song, "Encourage Yourself." speak over yourself, all that stuff. With all of that stuff, like you got to really keep a strong mental awareness about yourself when you're trying to do anything that's not normal or do anything that's outside of your family's norm. I'll say that if your family is the normal side of your family likes to drink, smoke, uh, do anything reckless, if that's the norm for your family and you're trying to do something different, guess what? You can't be around those people. You can love them. You can love them. You can participate in family gatherings. You can eat the chicken. You can eat the big piece of chicken. But when it comes to, I'm gonna answer that too. But when it comes to just how you go about encouraging yourself, I'm gonna give you one small play. And I got on TikTok. It said, "What are some of the resources you use?" All right. So when it comes to resources, and I got a lot of different ones. So one main one, and this is an easy one. It's very easy. Google and YouTube. And I'm gonna say this. I got a story about that, right? I got a story. And I try not to put numbers on online cause I do pay my taxes, but I do believe in tax breaks. Hello. So I say that to say this. When I first was starting, and I've told this story 1,000 times, but when I was first starting to try to transition into contracting world, because I went broke after getting the Grammy, after getting a few plaques on my wall. I still got the plaques. I'll show them to you. But after getting that stuff, I went broke. And it's because I did not have a stable plan when it came to finances. So I said, I'm going to start doing handyman work. That's easy. Blue collar work, simple. I could probably make $50 here and there, whatever. All right. So I started Googling how to be a handyman. Very basic. And Google spit out these are the things that handyman do. Change light fixtures, do light plumbing, they do this, they paint walls, they do this, and this. And I said, okay, I want to start with changing light fixtures. YouTube, how do you change light fixtures? I learned how to change light fixtures. You got three wires right here. The three wires connect to each other. It's gonna match the three wires in the ceiling. You put them together. Voila, the light works. Put the two screws in there. Done. Right? $50. $50. I said, all right, so I'm gonna make me a flyer. How do you make a flyer? It shot out the program. I think it was probably Canva or something like that. All right, so I started making flyers and stuff like that. My wife actually was helping with that, and that $50 idea turned into, I think my most recent invoice was like 30,000 for one invoice, and that's what people make for the whole year. It's one invoice though, right? So started getting the grip on how to do that business. Then I went from that to, okay, how do you build a business and how do you staff? Google. I Google everything. I YouTube everything because it's there. It's there for us to use. But I think what happens is a lot of us get in the funk of life and we just stop trying. We stop trying to look for it. But even as far as resources go, I wrote a book. I got a book. Write it down. I even put a discount code on there. I put 2Live, number 2 and live. But I got a ebook, Recession Prep Kit. That Recession Prep Kit, one of my listeners on the podcast sent the messages like, "Yo, I made $111,000 this year from some of the information I got from your book." Now, keep in mind, the book, I think it was, he probably got it off of live just like this. The book was like $10, $20, and you made 100? You made 100 off of a $20 purchase or something basic? I don't think that's because he just bought the book. The book was just the initiative to start. The book gave him some ideas and some direction. After he got that, he just went off with it and rolled with it, and that's what I'm here for. I love doing that. That makes me happy. When I help somebody see the other side of whatever they view as dark right now, I love that. When you see the other side of dark, because with dark, it's always light. They go together. You can't have one without the other. You got bad, you got good. Guess what? If you are, and I say fat because I was fat, I'll go there. If you fat, guess what? If you work out, you don't be fat no more. You be in shape. If you want to live or die, it's all of it's the parallels. It goes together. So I'm just here to help people see the other side of the darkness because I think it's a lot of good people out here. I think it's a lot of good men, women that really want to do good and provide for their family, change the trajectory. I always say that word wrong, but they want to change the trajectory of their family's bloodline. And a lot of the times, it could be very simple ideas that propel them into their journey. So that's what I'm here for. I love doing that, and I'm here every week. I'm here all week. I'm here all year. I don't even know what episode I'm on right now. I'm YouTube, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I normally post these pods on Thursdays. I got a lot going on. I will, matter of fact, this one comes out tomorrow. So you can play it back on YouTube. It's the Mad Lucrative Podcast. Mad Lucrative Podcast. Please like, share, subscribe. They say I'm supposed to say it in the beginning. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it at the beginning next time. But please like, share, subscribe. Uh, Join the community. Like, we got a lot going on, a lot of good things. I got my first mixer of 2023 coming up. I'm inviting everybody to my house. We're going to get it in. When I say get it in, I'm talking about like seminars and stuff like that. Like nothing crazy. But yeah, we just going to talk, man. And I like building people up. I like building people up so they can build somebody up and they can build somebody up. And everybody is just like an encouragement fest. You can do it. You can do it. No, you can do it. No, you can do it. No, I know you can do it. No, I love that. Like that, those environments I thrive in. So I'm trying to help push those type of environments on people. Hopefully I answered. I went around the world, but hopefully I am on Apple Podcasts, Philip. That's on TikTok. I'm sorry, y'all. I think a lot of my Facebook people like sleep. I'm mad late tonight too, so I normally go like around 9, but I got a family. I got to be a dad, a real dad. But Big Bob, what up? No problem, man. You welcome. You welcome. But I just again, uh, if y'all ever see me online, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, please shoot me a message. You don't know how much just the thank you matters to me, bro. It matters because a lot of the times I do this. I do these pods, and if people listen to the podcast, they don't even have to pay me for the coaching call. That's kind of the secret. Just subscribe to the pod on YouTube, and you never really have to pay for the coaching call. My coaching call would be $500 for a coaching call, but we go deep though, and it's just about you. It's not broad like it is tonight. But anyway, please come back next week. I will be here. Hopefully you had fun. All right. Till then, peace.